have bad manners? Do they, Nick Adams, Hedda Hopper, Allan Sherman, Celeste Holm, Oscar Levant, June Lockhart, Jacques Bergerac, Carol Lynley, and Paul Ford? We'll have that question answered and some others as our three players try to read the minds of the stars.
From Television City in Hollywood, the Celebrity Game, brought to you by the American Tobacco Company. Makers of Tareyton, the charcoal filter cigarette with a taste worth fighting for. Now here's the star of our show, Carl Reiner.
Thank you. Please. We only have a half hour. Now for the rules. We ask our celebrity panel a question on some popular topic that can be answered yes or no. Then our three players each get a chance to pick a star and tell us how they think the star voted. After every 3 turns, the players win some cash. $25 each when they're all right, $50 when 2 are right, and if only one reads the mind of the star correctly, he or she gets $100. All right, panel. A European actress recently made the comment that American men are interesting, even exciting, but not well-mannered. The question, do American men have bad manners? Yes or no? We're going to ask you to lock in your answers electronically by pressing the yes or no button in front of you, so press, panel, please. Allan, come on. You're holding up a note. There we go. Their answers can't be changed.
Allan, think of me.
Before we get to our first player, listen to this. The question before the House, do American men have bad manners? Let's meet our first player, Miss Betty Capeless, you pronounce that. Capeless,
right.
It says here you're a movie fan, a teacher, and you're visiting here with a trailer full of kids. Did you bring your class with you?
No, I have 6 of my own. That's enough. This is a summer vacation.
How does your husband like traveling in a trailer with all those kids?
He's still in Louisiana. He couldn't get away.
So he got time off, and he's getting the vacation, in other words.
That's right.
All right, Betty. Would you pick a star and tell us how you think he or she voted?
I pick Oscar Levant.
Oscar Levant.
He votes yes because they're henpecked. He being the exception, of course.
You're looking for a yes vote from Oscar Levant, who's not henpecked, and you get a yes vote.
I personally created bad manners. I don't know why you asked me. I'm famous for my bad manners. There's one question I want to pose. If a husband and wife aren't talking and the wife sneezes, do you say Gesundheit or do you keep it going?
I don't know. That's a good subject for a panel discussion further on.
I'll tell you who has good manners. A New York bus driver. They have impeccable manners.
All right, let's meet our second player, Tony Roman. I'll bet you're Italian.
All way.
Tony Roman. Fred Naples, yes. It says here you're married 5 years and have 3 children. What do you do?
I'm a shipping clerk, but I'd give anything to be a singer or actor if I had a chance.
Well, that's a tough business to crack with 3 kids. What does your wife think about it?
Oh, she's a wonderful little girl. She says, anything you want, Tony, that's it.
Well, it's wonderful to have a wife like that. I hope you got talent. Okay. All right, Tony, would you pick a star, please?
Yes, I'll pick Nick Adams.
Nick Adams.
I think he'll stick up for the American male. He'll say no.
You're looking for a no vote from Nick Adams. By the way, that is Nick Adams under that beard.
He looks like an old Georgie Jessel with that beard.
And you get from Nick a no vote. You were right, sir, Tony. Now, tell us why you voted no.
Well, I think the American women have bad manners. Excuse me. You open a door for a woman and 35 women walk through. They think you're a doorman. They take advantage of you.
It doesn't happen to all of us. Maybe you look like a doorman. Do you ever think of that?
I never thought of that.
Yeah. Don't blame the women.
Hey, it's true. I expect one woman tip me.
There you go. All right, Louise Prescott, let's meet this lovely lady. It says here you're a nurse, your husband is a doctor, and you treated many of the stars at the hospital where you work. You may know them inside and outside, but you never see them looking at their best, actually, do you?
No, we go to movies frequently because we want to see them when they're well.
This is a well group. Isn't this a good-looking group?
Right.
Has your husband ever treated me?
No comments. It's unethical. Louise Prescott, would you pick a
Mayo
star?
Brothers.
Would you pick a star, please?
Yes, I pick Carol Lynley,
Carol Lynley.
and she will say no. Certainly not with her.
All right, on the subject, do American men have bad manners? She says no, and you say, Carol, no.
Excuse me.
Yes, she has good manners. She said, excuse me.
I say no. I don't care what anybody says. I think American men have lovely manners.
No explanation necessary.
She must be thinking of Frank Sinatra.
Betty, Tony, and Louise were all right. They get $25 apiece for their efforts. We'll continue with Louise. Pick us another star.
I pick Jacques Bergerac,
Jacques Bergerac.
and he will say no. He's just a real doll.
All right, you're looking for no vote from the real doll Bergerac, and you get a no.
No.
Tell us why you voted no, Jacques.
Well, I think that American men are very honest, very hardworking, very dependable, and I think they are too scared of women to dare to have bad manners.
That's a funny. All right, Tony Roman.
I pick June Lockhart.
June Lockhart.
Thank you.
She would say no. Who could be nasty?
All right, you're looking for a no vote from June Lockhart, and you'll get a no vote.
No, I think instinctively they're really quite gallant, but it sort of comes about that they have bad manners by habit. After a woman pulls out a chair for a man for the third time, or he rushes around to open the car door and she says, I'd rather do it myself, I think the man just has to give up.
Our fault. All right, Betty.
I pick Celeste Holm.
Celeste Holm.
I believe she'll vote no. She will probably feel the men leave their bad manners at home.
All right, you're looking for no vote from Celeste Holm. You get a giggle first, and a no. You were right.
I said no because the American men that I know don't have bad manners. I don't know all the American men. Even though I do travel a great deal. We get around it, yes.
This is the brightest panel we've ever had. They were right again, all of them. They get 20. They're being so bright that they're not winning any money. They're sharing the money. $25 apiece for your efforts. Then we'll continue with Tony Roman.
I'll pick Allan Sherman.
Allan Sherman. Let's see if he can be right again.
He'll say no. He thinks he's wonderful anyway.
All right. You're looking for no from the wonderful Allan Sherman. You get a no. You're correct.
No, I didn't say no because I thought it was wonderful, although and I don't see why that would have made me say no. But what did make me say no was that I noticed it was a European actress that brought up the whole subject. And I think that I was in Europe in last February. And
What day? It's an autobiographical.
All right, Alan, continue. Or did you forget where you were?
No, I just want to say I think that Europeans have a tendency to think Americans have bad manners, but I think that their manners are, on the surface, much better, and a little bit below the surface, much worse.
All right. We'll go now to Betty.
Hedda Hopper.
Hedda Hopper.
Votes no because she's had too many American men be sweet to her.
All right. Well, let's see if that's so. You're looking for a no vote, and you get a yes vote. American men have bad manners.
Yes, because they're the only men in the world who can afford them. They don't go in for all those shenanigans and that hand-kissing act because they're too busy picking up the check.
All right, Louise Prescott.
I pick Paul Ford.
Paul Ford.
I think he will say no because he's just too honest.
All right, you're looking for a no vote from Paul Ford, the honest man. You get a no vote.
You're right, Louise. I think American men have really very good manners, you see, but they are not ostentatious about it. You see, these foreign men are showy about their manners. You know, they go around kissing hands and all that sort of. I hate them.
That's what happened to me in Europe. After a few of them kissed my hand, I just said to heck with it.
Well, only Tony and Louise were right. They get $50 apiece for their efforts, but you were very smart, all of you. Scorekeeper, how did the panel vote?
On the question of American men having bad manners, our panel voted 2 yes, 7 no.
7 no. Well, let's see what our consulting psychologist, Dr. Joyce Brothers, says. She says the majority of American women complain, but the true meaning of manners is consideration for the other person. Nowhere else on earth do men make the loving sacrifices for their women that American husbands do. Panel, listen to this from a current magazine article. 2 sociologists, neither one being Dr. Joyce Brothers, says that marrying for romantic love is about as rational as applying for a job when drunk. They also mentioned that there are some societies where love is considered a form of insanity. We want to ask you all this question. Is it a mistake to marry just for romantic love? Is it a mistake to marry just for romantic love? Press your panel buttons, yes or no. Allan, you're lagging again. We'll be back to play the next round of the celebrity game after this message. Is it a mistake to marry just for romantic love? All right, Betty Capeless, would you pick a star?
I picked Jacques Bergerac. I don't pronounce it too well.
Very good.
He votes no. What else with such a romantic name, voice, looks?
Your husband better get on that trailer soon. She's looking for a no vote from Jacques Bergerac, and you give her a no vote. You couldn't give her less, sir. Tell us why. You don't think it is a mistake to marry just for romantic love.
Well, I think one has to marry for romantic love because taxes and income tax being what they are, there is no choice.
All right. We'll go to Tony Roman. Would you pick a star, Tony?
Yes, Hedda Hopper.
Hedda Hopper.
She would say yes.
You're looking for a yes vote from Hedda on the subject, is it a mistake to marry just for romantic love? And you get a no vote.
Well, I wanted to pick both the yes and no, but since I could only pick one, I picked no. Yes, it's all right for a 17-year-old, but for a 70-year-old, it's no, because he might pass away before the romance was ended.
Or possibly before it begun. Louise, would you pick a...
me, Hedda. I wouldn't bother you.
Louise Prescott. All right, we'll go to Louise Prescott.
I pick Oscar Levant.
Oscar Levant.
You want to take me? No kidding.
I think he would say yes.
He would say yes. All right, you're looking for yes from Oscar, and you get... no.
I said no? Oh, that's the way it's phrased. I thought I was Arlene Francis for a minute.
Oh, no. It's phrased, is it a mistake to marry just for romantic love? And you said no.
No, that's the only way to marry. As a matter of fact, I put my wife on a pedestal, and how can you make love to a monument?
All right, in that round, Betty was the only one right. She gets $100 for her efforts. Congratulations, Betty. And we'll start this with Tony.
Carol Lynley.
Carol Lynley?
She'll give me a no.
You're looking for a no vote from Carol Lynley, and you get a no vote.
I do not think it's a mistake to marry for romantic love. I think you can get in terrible trouble marrying for romantic love, but you have a great amount of fun getting in terrible trouble.
All right, Betty?
I choose June Lockhart. She votes no because what other reason for marriage could there be?
Well, you're looking for a no vote from June Lockhart. I'd love to hear you talk all night. What a lovely accent. And you get from June Lockhart, yes, it's a mistake to marry for romantic love, and this I got to hear.
Well, romantic love, I wouldn't be without it. But you really asked the wrong person to ask me, because I don't know what it's like to be married without romantic love at this moment. But you must be practical. And with romantic love, you must have respect. And it's very difficult to respect a man who is a lazy bum or a drunkard. And to me, a man can be terribly romantic as he's on his way to the office in the morning. And I think that you must combine the two to have a really well-rounded, romantic, and lovely marriage.
Meet a drunken bum and...
All right, we'll go to Louise Prescott.
And I pick Nick Adams.
You pick Nick Adams, and let's see what you want from Mr. Adams.
He would say yes.
You think he would say yes?
Yes.
All right, we'll see what Mr. Beard here says. Can't get used to you with that beard. You say yes. It's a mistake to marry just for romantic love.
Yeah, because I think after all the romantic lovemaking is over and everything else, it gets to be sort of a drag, so you better have something in common with your mate, like you both like scotch or something like that.
How long are you married, Nick?
5.5 years.
You both like what?
We like each other.
Well, that's something in common. What were you saying, Hedda?
She picked him with that beard. She
I think
said,
he
I
looks-
picked Nick Adams with that beard.
Let's poll the panel. How does he look? I think he looks very good with the beard.
I do too.
Oh,
I think you
All the
are.
women do.
I think you're saying so, Jamie, don't
He
say
really
things.
does.
Pardon?
He looks like General Grant.
He does. General.
After the second term in the White House.
He looks better than General Grant.
Does now. All right, in that round, Tony and Louise were right. They get $50 for their efforts. We'll continue with Louise Prescott.
I picked Celeste Holmes.
Celeste Holm.
Yeah, I
There's
think
no S
she'd-
on it.
Yeah. I think she'd say yes,
You all right?
especially if he's rich.
She says, especially if he's rich. You're looking for a yes vote from Celeste Holm, and you're getting a yes vote. It's a mistake to marry just for love.
Well, I think that love includes so many things. I think you have to have a sense of humor in common. You know, it's interesting that Nick said we like each other very much. I think it's a nice idea to like somebody.
Yes, you've got to be good friends.
And enjoy them.
Darn right.
With a drunken bum?
I wish you hadn't brought that drunken bone.
I think you have to like him at all hours of the day, and I think you have to enjoy him, and I think you both have to like garlic in your salad.
I'll pick Paul Ford.
Paul Ford.
He'll say no. There's no other reason.
You're looking for a no vote from Paul Ford, and Paul is going to give you a no vote.
I say no because I think that most people really do marry for romantic love, whether they realize it or not. Of course, maybe the best reason is money, but the second best reason I think is romantic love because that leads into something better quite often, and with the easiness of getting divorces these days and all that sort of thing, you can take a chance on it. And I think you should be willing to take a little risk, you know, for real happiness.
All right.
Sounds like an insurance blurb.
Well, besides that, you see, I'm kind of trapped because that's why I married, you know. And I've been married for 39 years.
39. Let's all turn to Paul Ford and listen to that man.
And it was pretty romantic because I had 5 children, you know. And, well,
You mean since?
and then they've had quite a number of children.
How many grandchildren do you have?
17.
You do have 17?
Yeah, 17.
Go on.
So you see,
That's
all
pretty
my
romantic,
children
too.
inherited the romantic attitude.
All right. We'll go to Betty now.
Allan Sherman.
Allan Sherman.
He votes no. He seems the type to me who would be interested in romantic love.
All right, you're looking for a no vote from Allan Sherman, the romanticist, and you get a no.
And I am interested, and all applicants. No. Well, I still am looking for the definition I was looking for before, because to me, I can't think of any other reason to get married than romantic love. It's such a big thing that it includes, I think it includes liking scotch together and garlic if you want, and...
French dressing, that seems to be important.
Yes.
Allan, speaking of romantic love, I have in my files at home a mimeograph of the instructions for a Christmas office party that you sent out to all the secretaries.
That's right, in the office.
And it's pretty exciting, speaking of romantic love. It's their behavior for how they should handle themselves at the party.
Well, the thing is that the year before, there was a terrible mess at the party. So this year, I gave them numbers like at a bakery, so they could stand in line properly.
Did any of this lead to marriage?
No, this happened 12 years after I got married.
I mean in the office, not with you. I mean any of your office personnel.
Well, yes, the guy who's the head of the office keeps getting married all the time.
All right.
I can mention his name if you want.
Go ahead.
I better not.
Is he married for romantic love? Every Christmas.
All right, in that round, Betty, Tony, and Louise were all right. They get $25 for their efforts. Scorekeeper, how did the total panel vote?
On the question of it being a mistake to marry for romantic love, our panel voted 3 yes, 6 no.
So it's still love instead of money. All right, we'll play another round of the celebrity game right after this message. Panel, will you all look at the screen and listen to this conversation we had in Europe? Sir, what is your name?
Ivo Palazzi.
Mr. Palazzi, the question before the House, is a woman more attractive if she's a little plump?
Plump? What does it mean?
Plump, heavy.
Ah, bona.
Bona, yeah. Bona.
Well, it's much better because, you know, when you walk, it's nice when to see her walking, and when you dance, you feel, you know, something you
It's nice to watch and nice to dance
you
with.
See,
I see.
Looks much better.
It looks better.
Sure.
And it feels better, too.
Yeah.
We asked that same question to somebody in Paris. That was in Italy, as you might have guessed from his accent. This is Paris coming up.
Is a woman more attractive if she's a little plump?
Oh, no, of course. Because first she is a little plump, then she is a little fat, then she gets very fat, and then who needs her?
Oh, we could all use her. All right, is a woman more attractive if she's a little plump? Will you answer yes or no by pressing your panel buttons, please? All pressed? All right. Players, this is your chance to win some extra money and larger amounts. The panel is locked in their answers on the final question. We want you to tell us how you think the majority voted, yes or no. If you're all correct, you'll get $100. If two are right, $150. And if only one reads the panel correctly, he or she will get $300. So place your yes or no card in the slot in front of you, and don't reveal your answer as yet. Before we get to see the total vote, we'll find out how the panel voted. Nick, how did you vote on this subject of plump ladies? You, a woman, is a woman more attractive if she's a little plump, and you say yes?
Yes, depending on where she has her plumpiness.
Plumpiness?
Yes, that's not Italian or French. That's Jersey Cityan.
Yeah, I know. Plumpiness, translated, means plumpness.
The plumpness.
You think so? All right. And we'd like to know how Mr. Ford voted on the subject of plumpness. He said yes, a woman is a little more attractive.
Yes, I think so. Of course, it says a little plump. It doesn't say fat. Little plumpness here and there. I think it comes in very handy.
How long have you been married? 39 years, 17 grandchildren, 5 children. He should know. He should know. All right, now we would like to find out how Mr. Sherman voted.
I voted no. Well, my wife, when we got married, was 96 pounds, and I think now she weighs 99. We were married 19 years last Saturday. And wait a minute. I think a man, on the other hand, is adorable. I just found out, so help me, the day before yesterday, how I happened to get fat, in answer to June's question. When I was a kid, I could never remember whether you feed a cold and starve a fever, or starve a cold and feed a fever.
What did you do?
I fed them both, and I was a very sickly child, so I got fat.
All right, I know we've run out of time. Scorekeeper, how did the majority vote?
On the question of a woman being more attractive if she's a little plump, the majority of our panel voted no. 3 yes, 6 no.
All right, so let's start dieting. All right, now, if you voted no, Betty Capeless, you've made some money. But your face tells me you voted yes. How did... Oh, you didn't make any money. Tony, if you voted correctly, you'll have a chance to make a lot of money. You did. You've got at least $150. Louise, does he walk off with $300 or $150?
Sorry.
You have just made $300 for your friend Tony Roman. Well, Tony, Louise has $175. Betty has $175. Tony, with the 3 children and the wife, you got $475. I hope it helps you in your career. I hope you can move with that money to where you want to be. Next week, please watch our show. You owe us at least that much on Sunday night. Thank you, panel. You've been a delight. I hope you'll all come back with us again and play the celebrity game. And don't miss our show next week, folks. Remember, you might find anyone in Hollywood on our panel, except you know who. And good night, all.
The Celebrity Game has been brought to you by the American Tobacco Company, makers of Pall Mall famous cigarettes, for those who are particular about taste. Bob Quigley production in association with 4 Star Television.